Today we are going to do some self-exploration, if that's how you say it. As you can tell, my mic holder is a bit different today, and that's because I cannot find where my little green guy is. Like, he's usually on my desk, but he kind of just disappeared, and I'm a little bit scared. Maybe he gained a soul and just walked away because he was tired of me gripping him all the time. But until I can find him, we're going to use this little Beanie Baby. Do you see how cute he is? He's holding the little mic for me with his hand. He's such a cutie. So, since we're doing some self-exploration, I thought that the best way to do this, maybe it's not the best way, but the easiest way to do this is to take some quizzes. Probably not the best quizzes because they are from WikiHow. This is mostly just for fun anyway. So the first quiz is, am I annoying? How would you describe the way you walk? These are the options. My footsteps can be pretty loud. I can be kind of noisy when I walk, but it's nothing major. My footsteps aren't especially loud or quiet. I'm basically a ballerina. I'm totally quiet when I walk. I think I'm pretty quiet when I walk, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable for a second and just say that I am kind of self-conscious about how loud I walk because I used to be overweight, and so I was like kind of like always trying to be quiet with my walking. Like every time I'd walk, like I would like be thinking about it and be trying to be quiet because I don't know, I guess I was overweight. So even though I'm not overweight anymore, I still kind of have that same habit of trying to be quiet when I walk. So I'm just gonna say my footsteps aren't especially loud or quiet because it's not like I'm completely quiet, but I don't really make a lot of noise either. So let's just go with that. Next question. You and your friends are catching a movie this Friday. You'll probably arrive 30 minutes late, maybe an hour. It's okay, I'll just meet them at the theater. I'm known to show up 15 minutes late to things. I'll arrive on time. I'll try to, at least. Who, me? I'll be there 15 minutes early. So, let me think. I don't really have a problem with this because, I don't really have experience with this that I can go off of because I don't really go anywhere with people anyway because I'm an introvert. I like to be alone and do things in my own time and everything because I do have like a hard time with like time. Not like I'm late all the time, but because I just don't like being on a time limit. It kind of stresses me out. So, but let me think, if I was doing this, I'd probably arrive on time. I'm not gonna lie. I will probably try my best to arrive on time. Yeah, so that's my answer. I'll arrive on time. I'll try to at least. Next question. Do your pals ever tell you to tone it down when you're talking? They used to. Some people used to. Well, like my siblings used to. My friends, never. Because, again, I'm pretty self-conscious, so I like, whenever I'm talking to people, I tend to talk kind of slow and more even toned because I'm so scared that they will think that I'm being annoying or talking too fast or talking too loud. So whenever I'm talking, I really like am deliberate is that the right word, about it, and just I don't know, so I don't talk too loud, talk too fast, or mess up my words or stutter or anything. Even when I'm making videos, a little bit less than when I'm talking to like a friend or something. But yeah, so even if I am getting caught up in this story, nobody ever tells me to be quiet. So I think I'm fine. Hardly ever I talk at a normal volume. I'll just say that. Next question. Do you tend to check your phone a lot? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Especially because my hobby, making videos on YouTube, TikTok, I like to check, my notifications about that and other things. So, yeah, I do check my phone a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's probably bad, but like, the way my life is right now, yeah. I guess I'm gonna go with the first answer, which is yep, constantly I might have an addiction. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, next question. You're about to grab a seat at a super busy movie theater. Where do you put your bag? I put it on the seat next to me. Who cares if someone needs that spot eventually? I stash it on the seat next to me, but I'll move if someone needs a spot. I'll place it at my feet, or I'll keep it on my lap. So usually, obviously, I'm going to a movie theater with somebody, like a friend or family or something. I never go by myself. But if I were to go by myself, which I guess is what this question is implying, I will probably put it on my lap because I don't know if someone's seat number is the one right next to mine, and you could say that you can just put it next to you just in case, and if that's someone's seat, they'll probably be like, hey, that's my seat, could you move your bag? But I think I'll just keep it on my lap because I kind of want to avoid that social interaction. That's kind of like a red flag about me. I think I avoid social interactions at all costs. So yeah. But if I am going with someone, I will probably put the seat next to me because, like, if I'm saving the seat for a friend or somebody that's meeting up with me. But overall, I'm just keeping it on my lap. How often do you share your accomplishments with others? These are the options. Constantly. What can I say? I'm proud of myself. At least once a week, but I try to find a good segue to bring it up. Not super often, I only mention the big things that I'm really proud of. Almost never. If anything, my friends bring up my accomplishments for me. Let's think about that. I don't really have a lot of accomplishments. So, but when I do, I don't bring up everything, but I do like to bring them up. I don't know, I guess it's because if I do accomplish something, I do like to bring it up because I want the people around me to know that, like, I am doing something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just rotting away, like, if I have an accomplishment, it kind of feels like proof that I'm doing something. You know what I'm trying to say? That might be kind of stupid, but if I have an accomplishment, I'll probably share it, at least with, like, people really close to me. So I'm gonna say at least once a week by try to find a good segue to bring it up. Recently, I did share an accomplishment with my family, which was on my sober app. I am almost 3 months sober from pulling out my hair because I have trichotillomania. So that's a pretty good accomplishment, I think. Anyway, because that's like a really hard thing to deal with. Like, if you don't have trichotillomania, you probably won't get it, and you'll just be like, just stop pulling out your hair, because a lot of people say that. And let me tell you, it's not that easy. So if you know someone with trichotillomania, or someone tells you that they have that, or whatever, just don't say that. And if you don't know what to say, just don't say anything. Just don't say that. Don't say, just stop doing it. Just play with the fidget toy. Whatever. Just shut up and don't say anything if you don't get it. I think that's best for everyone. But yeah, I'm gonna say at least once a week. Think fast. It's your turn to order a smoothie. What do you say? This is hard. Well, actually, it's not exactly hard. It's not exactly hard. It's just something that I overthink a lot because I overthink ordering things because of my social anxiety. So, these are the options. I want a smoothie. Can I get a smoothie? May I get a smoothie? Or may I get a smoothie, please? First of all, the I want a smoothie, that seems kind of rude. I try to be as polite as possible because I kind of put myself in their shoes. Like, I would hate a job like working at like a fast food place or like a drink like a any places like that. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't. People can be really frustrating. Like customers can be really frustrating in those sort of places. So I try to be as nice as possible. So I definitely won't say I want a smoothie or can I get a smoothie. I'll either say may I get a smoothie, may I get a smoothie please, or actually usually I say can I get a smoothie please. Like can I get a smoothie please? Why? I kind of say that out of the pettiness because my dad used to always be like, I don't know, can you? Can you shut up? Actually, if you're someone like that, you may. Oh my gosh, maybe it's just because my dad, and that's why it makes me hate it so bad. But if you're one of those people, bro, just shut up. I don't know, can you? Just please shut up. So, I guess I'm gonna go with may I get a smoothie, please? Because a lot of times I do overthink things like that a lot to the point where I guess I sound a bit too nice. Like I'm trying too hard to be nice. But I'm being honest because I'm afraid to be mean. So I'm just gonna say, may I get a smoothie, please? And I'll probably say that in a really awkward tone. How often do you hold the door for people behind you? Almost never. I don't mean to be rude. I'm just always in a rush. I try to, but I don't always remember. Typically, yes, it's the least I can do. Yep, I'll hold it even if the person is a good distance away. Here's the thing. If someone's behind me and coming in a store behind me, I'm gonna hold it open for them. Well, do they mean hold it open for them like waiting, like holding it open and like standing there and waiting till they go in first? Or is it like you going in first, but like making sure the door doesn't close so they can also get in? Am I overthinking this? I don't know. I do the second option way more than the first one. Like, I barely ever do the first one because, like I said, I have social anxiety, so it kind of makes me like freaked out. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why I have social anxiety, but I try to, but I don't always remember. I'm just gonna say that for the first one, I try to. But if it's a second option where you're going first and then you hold the door open so it doesn't close in their face, I do that all the time. So I try to, but I don't always remember. Your friend just texted you. When do you reply? These are the options. I'm not that great at replying to texts. Within 1 to 2 business days. I try to reply within an hour at the latest. I reply as soon as I possibly can. They're waiting for my response. So, one thing about this is sometimes texting does overwhelm me and make me overthink because like I've mentioned before, probably I am like a professional overthinker. So, it does take me a while to respond to texts if it's someone that like I'm not extremely close to, even if it's a friend that even if it's a friend that I am really close to, it takes me a while and I still overthink my reply. I only don't overthink it that much if it's like my family. But if it's like a friend, like I said, I literally said friend, not family, so yeah, friend. So it might take me a little bit because I am overthinking it. Sometimes I do deliberately be like, I will reply later. Just because, like I said, texting kind of overwhelms me. But it's not like I ignore them for like 1 to 2 business days. Like I feel like that's kind of mean. I just maybe like a couple hours at most, which also kind of sounds a bit mean. But I don't know. It's something I do have to work on. I don't always leave them to wait in that long, and if I do make them wait that long, then it's on accidents because I know how it feels to like be waiting for someone's text message and feeling kind of unimportant when they don't reply to you. So I do try to reply as fast as I can, but I'm also not that great at replying to texts. So it's either I'm not that great at replying to texts, or I reply as soon as I possibly can, or I try to reply within an hour at the latest. That's kind of hard. I think I'm overthinking this. Am I overthinking this? I'm gonna say I try to reply within an hour at the latest, because I think that's as accurate to me as it can get, because like I said, I overthink it. So I'm like, I don't reply right away because like I'm thinking about what I should say next, and I'm thinking about, like, I'm just overthinking it. So it does take a bit, but I try not to let them wait too long. So I'm just gonna say I try to reply within an hour at the latest. Whoops, you just used the last of the toilet paper. You flush, wash my hands, and leave. Someone else can replace it. Hurry out of the bathroom, but I tell myself I'll replace it later, if I remember. I replace the toilet paper roll and make sure that there's a backup one nearby. Okay, never the first one. That's kind of mean. Kind of most of the time it's hurry out of the bathroom, but I tell myself I will replace it later if I remember. Other times it's I replace the toilet paper roll and make sure there is a backup one nearby. Honestly, it's one of those. What do I do the most? I used to do the most hurry out of the bathroom, tell myself I'll replace it later if I remember. I used to do that a lot, but lately I just been force myself to like get another get another toilet paper roll, and make sure there's a backup one nearby. So I'm just gonna, I replace it. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time with my words today. If you finish off the milk, do you put the carton back in the fridge? No. These are the options. Yep, someone's gotta drink that last millimeter of milk. Yeah, usually, but I'm not proud of that. Not really, I'm pretty good at remembering to recycle. Nope, as soon as it's finished, I recycle it. I would hate to leave that for someone else. Okay, like I said, for me, I used to leave it in the fridge, probably when I was like 11. But lately I don't do that. Really, what my family and I do is just like whenever it's finished, we just leave it on the counter, and then whenever we remember, we just throw it in the trash like outside of the house. So I'm just gonna say not really. I'm pretty good at remembering to recycle. Okay, last question. You're binge watching a TV show with a group of people. What do you do? I'm talking through the whole thing. I might even give away the end if I know what happens. No. I make my fair share of comments, but if people tell me to be quiet, I'll stop. I talk occasionally, but I try to read the room first and make sure everyone's okay with my chit-chatting. I'm super quiet the entire time. Well, I will only binge watch stuff with family and really close friends. So I'm just gonna say I make my fair share of comments, but if people tell me to be quiet, I'll stop. Okay, these are my results. It seems like you're not an annoying person. Wow, okay. You might get on a person's nerves every once in a while, like once a year, but for the most part, you seem to be pretty enjoyable company. Based on your results, it sounds like annoying is not a word that most people would use to describe you. We bet that you're real great at reading the room, have no trouble adjusting to new social scenes, and generally like to make sure that people like you. On the off chance that you don't vibe well with someone, it doesn't really bother you. Who cares what other people think anyway? That part isn't really accurate, because if someone doesn't like me, I get really, really sad. And it really hurts my self-esteem, because I don't have good self-esteem. I'm sorry. It seems like you're already pretty great at making an excellent impression on the people you meet, but if you'd like to score even more points with your peers, these tips and tricks can make a big difference. And there's a bunch of things. Before we go, we'll leave you with one last piece of advice. Never ever change yourself to fit in or make someone else like you. There will always be people out there who will love and appreciate you for exactly who you are. Anyone who expects you to change your personality or preferences was never a real friend to begin with. Okay, that's pretty good advice, but yeah, I don't think it's completely accurate. The only part that's accurate is it says that you might get on a person's nerves every once in a while, but for the most part, you seem to be super enjoyable company. I have had people tell me that I'm good company if I'm actually close to them, because if I'm not close to you, then I'm just uncomfortable. So I'm probably not very fun to be around. But on the off chance that you don't vibe well with someone, doesn't really bother you, who cares what other people think anyway, that is inaccurate, because, sorry, I keep moving. No, like I said, no. If someone doesn't like me, I'm gonna probably cry myself to sleep, which I know I need to work that on me. I know I need to work on that, but whatever. Anyway, those are my results. Pretty happy about that. Now let's see. Am I mean quiz? Let's take that. Sometimes I think this is a good quiz to take because sometimes I used to get called mean a lot. But I also used to get called nice a lot, and lately people close to me, like family, have been telling me that I'm a lot nicer, which is good because I really wanted to work on that part of myself, because I do have anger issues. I'm not gonna lie, I do have anger issues. Am I mean quiz? First question: someone elbows you in a crowd, how do you react? I don't know, should I answer this with like me now and how I would react now, or should I answer this with like how I would react if I didn't have social anxiety? That always kind of like gets me and it always kind of makes me overthink in quizzes like this, because like social anxiety is a really big part of how I react to certain things. But I also know, like, I don't know, if I didn't have social anxiety, I'd probably react kind of different, but I don't know. Anyway, these are the options. I elbow everyone around me just to make sure it doesn't happen again. Who the frick does that? I apologize for getting in their way. No. I shrug it off. Accidents happen. I subtly step on their foot just to teach them a lesson. I'm not gonna lie, if I did not have social anxiety, I would probably subtly step on their foot. Because, like, how does that feel? If it wasn't an accident when someone elbowed me, if it was an accident, I'd probably shrug it off. But it would make me annoyed, I'm not gonna lie. It would make me annoyed, because I already don't like crowded places and crowds and everything, so it would make me a bit mad. I'm just gonna say I'll shrug it off, because even if I didn't have social anxiety, I think that I wouldn't do really anything, because still, I'm an introvert. Even if I didn't have social anxiety, I'm pretty sure I'd still be an introvert. So I don't want to deal with that and get into like drama. So I'm just gonna say I shrug it off. You hear the customer behind you say they want the last croissant. What do you do? I buy it and eat it in front of them. You snooze, you lose. I buy it, but give them an apologetic look after. I buy it for them. Now we both feel good. I choose something else. They can have it. It's no big deal. Probably I choose something else. They can have it. It's no big deal. I'm not gonna lie, because I always tend to put myself in other people's shoes. I try to, most of the time anyway. I really try to. Because like I said, like, I'm, like, my morals, well, I didn't say this before, but my morals and everything are, like, pretty important to me. So I'm always, like, overthinking stuff like that. So if I was behind somebody in line and then I'm talking to my friend who's next to me about how badly I want a croissant, I'm like, oh my gosh, I freaking want that croissant. And then the person in front of me all of a sudden gets that croissant, like, they order the croissant, and it's my turn to order, and now the croissant's gone. I'm gonna be really sad. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably gonna ruin my day, because if I want something, I really want it, and if I don't get something I want, it kind of changes my whole mood, which is probably not a very good thing, but it's the truth. So I'm just gonna say I'll probably choose something else. They can have it. It's no big deal. It's fine. Next question. Someone you don't like overhears you inviting your friends to a party. What do you do? Change the subject so they don't hear. Invite them to come. Who knows? Could be fun. Lower my voice but keep talking about it. Talk louder about how much fun it'll be. I'm not gonna lie. It's rare for me to not like somebody. You know, they have to be like super, like, morally messed up, like did something pretty messed up for me to not like them. So if they did do that, you know, like, and someone like that hears me, like, inviting my friends to a party, I probably am not going to feel bad that they're not invited, and I'm not going to invite them. Sorry. I don't really want you to ruin my fun. Is that kind of mean? But no, but if they're done something morally wrong, like I said, because like most of the time, the only situation where I won't like somebody is that. So I'm just gonna say, change the subject so they don't hear. Yeah. Okay. How would you get a waiter's attention at a restaurant? Shout, "Waiter," until someone comes. Wave my hand in the air dramatically so they can't miss me. Say, "Excuse me," when one walks by the table to grab their attention. Wait patiently for someone to come to me when they're free. Okay. It depends. I will never shout "waiter" until someone comes. I will never wave my hand in the air dramatically. Even if I didn't have social anxiety, I would not do that. Because, like I said, I still try my best to be a good person. It's either say "excuse me" when one walks by the table, or wait patiently for someone to come to me when they're free. So, since I do have social anxiety, my social anxiety says the last one, wait patiently for someone to come. But if I didn't have social anxiety, I'd probably say "excuse me." So, I'm just gonna go with the "excuse me" one. You just got news that your worst enemy broke their leg. How do you feel? I feel neutral about it. I feel kind of bad for them, not too bad though. I feel terrible, nobody deserves that. I laugh out loud, now that's something to celebrate. Like I said, since it takes kind of a lot for me to not like somebody in like real life outside of social media and everything, they would have to do something like pretty like crazy bad for me to dislike them. And for to be my enemy, it would probably have to be even worse. So I probably wouldn't feel bad. I'm sorry. I don't know if that makes me mean. I mean, probably, but like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Definitely not. I feel terrible. Nobody deserves that. Definitely not that. I'm sorry. I'm not that nice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think I laugh out loud and that's something to celebrate. They have to do something super terrible for me to be like that, I'm pretty sure. I can think about a few people, not in my life, but a few people in the world where I would be reacting like that. There's no in between, I feel like. I feel kind of bad for them. I feel kind of bad for them, not too bad though. I guess that's the closest one, but I don't know. I think for me, I'd probably just be like a little bit satisfied. I know that's kind of probably bad. I don't know. I'd probably feel a little bit satisfied, but I wouldn't be full on celebrating either. I'm just gonna go with I kind of feel bad. Because I definitely wouldn't feel neutral. No. Have you ever ghosted someone? Yeah, all the time. If someone's vibe is weird, I'm out. Never, it's rude. I take every opportunity to tell people why I don't like them, so no, I don't ghost. Once or twice. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of a petty person. So if someone is like being a bit rude, I'm probably out of pettiness going to probably ghost them, and I'm not gonna feel bad because if they're being rude, and usually it's a guy. Usually it's a guy, I'm sorry. Cause like why are they so mean? I don't know. But seriously, that's probably rude. But I'm not gonna lie, I have ghosted people. Um I'm sorry. But then again, I don't feel bad because it's not like I ghost someone who's like super, super, super nice and I have no reason to do it. But if they're freaking me out and they're being freaky and they're being rude, I'm kind of gonna ghost them. I know you could say just block them, but I kind of want to make them mad. That's probably bad. There was a few times where I like blocked somebody or ghosted somebody even if they didn't do something bad, but that was because when I was in a really bad headspace. Not an excuse, just the reason why I did that. Not for like any rude reason, even though it's probably rude no matter the reason why I did it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say once or twice because it's not like I do it all the time. But if someone's really kind of rude, and I kind of want to feel that satisfaction of not replying to them, like ghosting them a bit. I don't know, but again, I'm not doing it to just like anyone for the love of it, you know. If you're a nice person, if you're kind, I'm not gonna ghost you. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get hate for this. But I have done it a few times. I'm sorry. Not often, not recently. Like I said, I'm trying to grow as a person, but I have done it, and I have been ghosted too. Sorry, I'm just gonna say once or twice. I'm sorry. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Maybe this is good. This is good for my growth as a person. Because growth as a person for me, like, and moral growth and everything, that's like pretty important to me. Oh, I always stress out about stuff like that, you know, and trying to grow and stuff. So I guess this is good. I am facing the red flags of me. Anyway, next question. Your friend asks you your opinion on their outfit. It's hideous. What do you say? I like the concept, but let's workshop this. You always look great, but I'm not sure about this one. You're going out in that? Whatever, you do you. I'm gonna be real, you look terrible. Probably none of those, because I am a firm believer in everyone has their own freaking style. Fashion and what is beautiful in your eyes is completely subjective. So I'm never gonna say, oh, that looks terrible, you gotta change. I am probably going to say, it's not my cup of tea, but if you really like it, period. If you really like it, I'm happy for you. I'm not going to be like, you gotta change. But if they really care about my opinion that much, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be really honest. To me, it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? If they have like a sort of blindness to fashion, I'm gonna say that and be honest. But like I said, everyone has their own style. So, yeah, I don't know. I just hate when people are like, you think that looks good? Oh my god, she really thought she ate. She really thought she ate. And to her, she did eat. I promise you, I'm not dressing for you, and they're probably not dressing for you either. We have no idea who you are. So I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I think the closest option I have that I would probably do is, you always look great, but I'm not sure about this one, because the other ones kind of make me mad. But yeah, but then again, it could be possible that they're not sure about the outfit themselves, and they genuinely just don't know how to put a good outfit together. So then I would probably say, do you want me to help you figure this out? Not to say that I'm like a fashion icon or professional or anything, but yeah, but I'm just gonna say, you always look great, but I'm not sure about this one. Your friend tells you they're crushing on the same person you're crushing on. What do you do? It's kind of hard. Make my move. I love my friend, but I called dibs. Step aside and let them have the crush. I can get over it. Spill my friend's secret to the crush so they're turned off. Ugh. Set my friend up with the crush. I just want my pal to be happy. I would do none of these. Actually, if I have a crush, I'm never letting that person know unless they tell me first. Unless they reciprocate. I don't know. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. Unless they feel the same way about me and they like tell me first, I'm not going to tell them. Sorry. I have too much of a fear of rejection and social anxiety for that. And I know that's bad. I know that is because I can think about all the missed opportunities and everything. Because what if that person is like me and has the same mindset as me? And so nothing ever happens. I know. But I'm probably not going to do it. So if I figured out that my friend likes the same person as me and that the person doesn't have any signs that they like me or they haven't said, hey, I like you, I'm probably going to step aside and let them have the crush. Yeah. Because it's not like I'm in love with this person. Crush doesn't mean you're in love. If I was in love with this person, it'd probably be a bit more serious. But yeah, I'm just going to say I step aside and let them have the crush. Have you ever spread rumors about someone? Never. Don't even gotta talk about that. That's terrible. If you do that, you're terrible. What do you do when you have a problem with someone? I try to talk it out and see if we can understand each other. Tell them off to their face. Avoid them. We don't have to be friends. Turn all their friends against them. I'm not gonna lie. If it's like a friend that I'm having a problem with, I will, even though I have trouble with communicating and talking about my feelings and everything, I am going to try to talk it out and see if we can understand each other. But if we're not friends, I'm probably just gonna avoid them. Like, we don't have to be friends, really. Because I kind of want to put my energy in, like, more important things, I'm not gonna lie. But if, like, again, if it's, like, somebody that I have to see all the time, even if we aren't friends, then maybe I will try to talk it out. I'm just gonna say, try to talk it out and understand each other. Okay. Someone disses you online. What do? Cry. 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 These are the options, though. Block them and move on. Tell them to have a nice day. I mean it. I hope things get better for them. Is there anyone in the world that actually thinks like that? I am not that nice. I am not that healed and sweet of a person. Diss them right back. Two can play that game. Stalk all their accounts and send them hate messages until they deactivate. None of these. Actually, if I didn't have social anxiety, I might diss them back. I'm not gonna lie. If they are dissing me for, like, something that is, like, not true, I'll probably be like snap back and be like, hey guys, what the frick? That isn't true. You know? I guess that's not exactly dissing back. But I don't know, most of the time I guess I'll just block them and move on. Choose the sickest burn. I can just tell by that sentence these are not gonna be good. I don't really like these. Ooh, burn. You never disappoint me because my standards for you are too low. Oh. I always wanted kids until I met you and saw how they could turn out. Dang. Can you hold your breath? You're wasting all my air. That one's kinda corny. Let me think about how I would feel if someone said these things to me. Oh, I don't really like these for, like, saying, like, you don't like the options. I don't know. Maybe I'm slow. If someone said to me, "You'll never disappoint me because my standards for you are too low," that probably will hurt a little bit because, like I said, I already have low self-esteem, and that I always wanted kids until I met you and saw how they would turn out. That also would hurt me a lot, probably even more. So I'm gonna go with that one. Now, are you ready for my results? Because that was the last question. Okay. You're not mean at all. Yay! I'm not mean, guys. That means a lot. Okay, this is what it says. You're actually kind of an angel. Other people might try to push your buttons, but you rise above and kill them with kindness. I don't know if that's true. When they go low, you go high. When they smack one cheek, you turn the other. In fact, you make them feel bad for even being mean in the first place. So much so that it eats them up inside for days. And honestly, that's truly dastardly of you and does more damage than any cruel roast possibly could. Sometimes it pays to be an absolute saint. After all, karma's coming for all of us, and you'll be ready when she does. I don't know if this is true. Do I kill people with kindness? Like I said, it really depends. I'm a it depends kind of person. It depends on the situation. I don't know. I don't think this is true, guys. I don't think I'm an angel, but I don't think I'm mean either. So, is that accurate? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do one more quiz. How awkward am I quiz? I had to do this one because I always say that I am the queen of awkwardness. Have you ever tripped over your own feet? First question. Yes, I have. Once or twice, sure, it happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that one. I have. There was a time, well, whenever I'm really anxious, I trip over everything. I trip over air. Especially whenever I'm trying really hard not to be awkward, it kind of bites me in the butt. and I end up being extremely awkward. So, how do you feel about making phone calls? Not good. These are the options. I'm always calling people. It's my preferred way to chat. No. It's alright, but I prefer texting, which is just easier. Yeah. I get a little anxious whenever I have to make a phone call. It's intimidating. Even just hearing my phone ring makes my heart beat super fast. No thanks. So like I said, it depends. I'm a it depends kind of person. I do prefer texting if it's someone I'm not close to. If it's someone I am close to, I prefer calling because we can talk better. And if it's like I have to make this phone call kind of thing for something really important, like calling my doctor or something, it's intimidating. So I'm just gonna say it's alright, but I prefer texting. Wait, should I say that? I'm just gonna say, yeah. I prefer texting. Does raising your hand in class make you nervous? Yes. I would overthink for like 30 minutes before raising my hand in class because it made me so anxious. Like, you put your hand up and then people are gonna notice, and then people are gonna look at you and try to hear what you're asking the teacher. That makes me so anxious. So usually if I had to like ask to go to the bathroom or something, because that's the only time where I'd raise my hand, or go to the nurse or something, I will probably just get up and go to the teacher's desk. Nope, I'm ready to talk even if I'm not raising my hand. No. Not really, I only raise my hand if I'm sure what I'm going to say anyway. A little bit, but I know it's only temporary. Absolutely, I avoid raising my hand whenever possible. That's me. I avoid it. Sorry. If you had a crush right now, do you think you'd be able to tell them? Like I said earlier, no, not unless they tell me first. Do you feel comfortable hanging out with a new friend one-on-one? Totally, I think it's fun to have alone time with interesting people. I feel fine, but I prefer to hang out with people in groups. Less pressure that way. Hanging out with people one-on-one makes me pretty nervous, but I'll do it if I have to. I try to never hang out with someone alone. I just end up embarrassing myself. It does make me really, really nervous. But I'm just gonna say, hanging out with people one-on-one makes me pretty nervous, but I'll do it if I have to. I'm just gonna say that. Because sometimes doing it in groups makes it less pressure, but other times, like, it puts more pressure on me, because then, like, the people around me will, like, especially if it's, like, family or other, like, closer friends that aren't new friends, because then if I'm acting different around that new friend, the close friend or family will, like, realize, and it's kind of embarrassing. So, someone you sort of recognize waves in your direction. What do you do? Smile and wave back, then approach them to say hello. No! Give a polite nod and keep walking. Look behind me to make sure they're not waving at someone else, then wave. Ignore them. What if they're not who I think they are, or they're not even waving at me? Too risky. Okay, so, like I said, social anxiety. I know this is kind of awkward, and there's a lot of jokes about people doing this, but if someone is waving, I think they're waving at me, I'm going to question that and look behind me. So I'm probably going to say look behind me to make sure they're not waving at someone else, then wave. Or give a polite nod and keep walking. Sometimes if I'm really anxious and I'm just not in the mood, I'm probably going to pretend that I didn't see them and just keep walking, which is probably bad. That is rude. And I don't mean to, but it's just if my anxiety is really bad. So I'm just gonna say look behind me to make sure they're not waving at someone else, then wave. Which is probably the most awkward option, but I'm gonna be honest. An acquaintance holds out their hand to greet you. You shake it firmly, then pull them in for a hug. No! Just shake their hand. Keep it simple. Don't forget to smile too. Offer them the wrong hand by accident, making them have to switch hands. Oh, that's so awkward. Go in for a fist bump, but then change to a high five, but linger too long and turn it into a limp handshake. I'm not gonna lie, a few years ago I used to be probably that one that I just read, the really, really, really awkward one. But as I like do it more, I kind of like perform it in my head so I don't do it wrong or awkwardly. So I'm just gonna say, just shake their hand, keep it simple, don't forget to smile too. That seems like the best option. You're talking to a friend who won't stop yapping, and you're late to an important meeting. You tell them to walk with me so they can keep talking and I won't be late. That's pretty good. Interrupt as politely as I can and explain I have to go, but make plans to talk again soon. Say, sorry, I have to be somewhere. Give them a pat on the shoulder and leave. Stand there and listen so long that I miss my meeting. Really, really, really anxious me will stand there and listen so long that I miss my meeting. But really, if I build up the courage, which sometimes lately I find myself that I just make myself make a decision so I don't overthink it. I'm gonna say tell them to walk with me so they can keep talking. I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, come walk with me because I got somewhere to be. I'm probably just gonna say that, yeah. Someone insults your outfit on the street. What do you say? You wouldn't know good taste if it hit you like a bus. Thanks, your mom picked it out for me. I hate your mom jokes. I don't care. I'm not a 12-year-old little boy. And I mean, if you do think mom jokes are funny, like, cool, good for you. But if you tell one to me, I'm not gonna laugh. It's just not funny. Anyway. I say nothing in the moment, but think of 100 things to say in the shower later. I walk faster and keep my head down so nobody can see me start to cry a little. That's probably me. That's how I will react in the moment, and then I will think of 100 things to say in the shower later. But I'm probably just gonna say I walk faster and keep my head down so nobody can see me start to cry a little. That's the most accurate. Because like I said, I'm really sensitive. Especially when it comes to public kind of things. Because social anxiety. Have you ever accidentally liked someone's social media post from over a year ago? Yes. Maybe like once. Because now I try really hard to just not. After like you make that one mistake, you just are extra careful because that's just embarrassing. Next question. How do you feel about public speaking? Never. I'm never doing it. I will avoid it at all costs if I have to. Give me a topic and I can yap for hours in front of a crowd. No! I'm okay when I have something prepared, but don't ask me to improvise. Public speaking is something that mostly happens in my nightmares. I'll do it, but I won't like it. I sort of black out whenever I get up in front of people. Sometimes literally. Yeah, that one. But if I did not have social anxiety, I'll probably be like, I'm okay when I have something prepared, but don't ask me to improvise. I'll still probably be a little bit nervous. But I'm just gonna say I sort of black out whenever I get in front of people. Because that, like, really describes my fear of public speaking. Last question. And then we'll figure out if I'm awkward or not, which I already know the answer, I'm pretty sure. You're talking to someone, but you missed what they just said. What do you say? What do you say? Sorry, I got distracted. Can you repeat that? I just say, yeah, and nod my head. I say nothing and hope it wasn't important. I say, aw, that sucks. They look at me funny. I never find out what they said. So, like I said, it depends on the person. If it's family, I'm gonna be like, huh? Like, probably 100 times. If it's like a friend, I'm gonna be like, huh? And if I still don't hear them, I'm just gonna like nod and be like, ah. I'm just gonna probably say, I just say yeah, nod my head. Dang it. I probably say that because I get anxious in the moment, and then I overthink it and be like, oh my gosh, what if they said something that they want me to reply to? And it's like, what if it's like a question or something? I'm gonna overthink it a lot. But it's okay. Let's see my results. You're as awkward as anyone else. Does that mean I'm like averagely awkward? Because I don't know if that's true. Okay. Which is to say, you're sort of awkward, but it's not the end of the world. You probably flub your words sometimes, or space out during conversations. Maybe you're not sure what to say when someone's telling an emotional story. I don't know what to say. Or you trip over the corner of a door after you hold it for someone. It happens to the best of us, truly, and the good news is that everyone's pretty awkward. It's just part of living inside a body. Yeah. Our brains and our bodies aren't always on the same page. Here's a little tip, just between us. Usually, everyone's so concerned with not being awkward themselves that they don't really notice other people being awkward. Or if they do, they forget as soon as the next awkward thing happens to someone else. This kind of makes me feel better about myself a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Because I always call myself the most awkward person in the world. And I guess over the years I've gotten less awkward as I, like, learn what to do in different situations, You know what I'm trying to say? But, like, yeah, I guess if it wasn't for my social anxiety, I guess it's not me being awkward, really. I guess it's just my social anxiety. Which, yeah, I've been saying social anxiety so much this video, and I'm really sorry, but it's the truth. So, yeah. This makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I feel like that's kind of accurate. Yeah. And I guess mostly the awkwardness does stem from not socializing a lot with people, because I used to be really, like, I never really socialized with people when I was younger because of our poor life situation, but I guess it stems from that, and not having I'm not good at, like I said, emotional sort of things. Like, if someone's telling an emotional story, I don't know what to say, because I kind of grew up in a household where, like, my dad used to always be like, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about, stuff like that, where, like, I just wasn't really taught exactly how to handle emotions and stuff like that, so I am awkward about it. So I guess those are, like, the main things, and I guess I am just, like, awkward as anyone else, maybe. That kind of makes me feel better about myself. Maybe it's wrong, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's right to make me feel better. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed me yapping and figuring out a little bit more about myself. And if you didn't, I'm really sorry. You can thumbs down the video if you want. That'll make you feel better. But if you did like it, please like the video and comment and hype it, and subscribe if you want. Yeah, and also tell me if you want a part 2, because I really do like doing things like this. It's kind of like low effort, and also pretty fun, because, like, I do like taking quizzes. Quizzes are, like, really fun. I've been taking quizzes ever since I was, like, 7, 8 years old, on, like, especially on Pinterest and everything. Like, it's so fun. Like, I just love it, figuring things out about myself, even if it isn't, like, accurate. It's still kind of fun. Like, I used to do quizzes like, what kind of donut am I? Maybe I should do that next one, taking unserious quizzes. That'd be pretty fun. Let me know if you want a video like that.